Welcome to a very wet park circle. Grab a Bible or click the link in the description. Read through Matthew 8, verses 28 to 34, and then join me on my round as I look to learn about Jesus from this passage. In Matthew 8 so far, we see where Matthew has shown us that Jesus has authority over human diseases, that he's the suffering servant bearing with us in our weakness, that following him is costly. And he's shown us that he is in fact sovereign over all creation, even storms. And in all this time, Jesus has crossed from the Jewish side of the Sea of Galilee to the Gentile side of the Sea of Galilee, where he's now greeted by a couple of strange characters. When Jesus gets out of the boat, he's met by two demon-possessed men. These demon-possessed men are living among the tombs, and they're terrorizing the neighborhood. No one can pass that way. Matthew then gives us another "and behold." Remember that Matthew uses this phrase when he's about to show us something that shouldn't be, or something that's so out of control. Behold, a leper in a crowd. Behold, a storm on the sea. And now we have, behold, the demon-possessed men speak to Jesus. When Matthew says, and behold, the startling thing is not that there are two demon-possessed men. It's not even that these demon-possessed men speak to Jesus, but it's that they answer the question that the disciples have just asked. Who is this man that even the wind and the waves obey him? And the demons answer, what have you to do with us, O Son of God? The demons' follow-up question indicates that the demons expect Jesus to come and torment them. They know they deserve judgment, but they also know that there's a particular time for that judgment. There's so many interesting questions we could ask around this. Who are these demons? It doesn't seem quite like they're fallen angels, because angels have corporeal bodies. These folks are decidedly non-corporeal. That's part of why they're obsessed with possession of a physical body. We could ask questions like, when is the time that they would expect torment? But all of that's beyond what this particular text is asking of us. As this right confession that Jesus is the Son of God, but given from a most unlikely source, sits on us, we're introduced to a new set of characters on the scene. A herd of pigs and the herdsmen that take care of them. These demons seem very much aware that Jesus is going to cast them out, and they're terrified of being without physical form. So they're asked to actually go in to this herd of pigs to possess them. And Jesus, with one word, he allows it. And so the demons enter the herd of pigs, and immediately we get another behold. So this is the fourth in the chapter. The second in this story, behold, the pigs rush down and drown themselves in the sea. Again, there's a lot of questions we could ask about this. Why the behold, the pigs drown themselves? Is it that demons have a hard time possessing pigs? One of my favorite, although I'm not dogmatic on it by any measure, interpretation is that demons are actually the spirits of the giants who perished in the flood. They're opposing God, opposing Jesus. And so it's ironic when we get this behold and the pigs perish in water. So I don't know. I'm not going to hold to that. Go read Giants, the Sons of God by Douglas Van Dorn if you're interested in those sorts of topics. But if we stay on topic, we see that Jesus has just exercised tremendous authority over demons after being correctly identified as the Son of God, and it's created a local disruption in the community and in the local economy. The disc don't flare skip as much when the ground is this wet. With the loss of their livelihood, we're told that the herdsmen flee and they go into the city and they tell everyone what's happened. They especially mention what happens to the demon-possessed men. What's interesting is that Matthew doesn't tell us what happened to the demon-possessed men. If you want to know what happened to them, go check out the parallel passages in Mark and Luke. I'm not going to give you the answer today. Don't think Matthew's purpose is to say anything about Jesus' relationship with the men themselves. Rather, he's showing that Jesus has a specific authority over the spiritual realm. Demons know rightly who he is. They oppose him, and he exercises authority over them. We expect at this point every other behold has been followed by a level of amazement at Jesus' authority. We'd expect something similar here. We get our fifth behold. And behold, all the city came out to meet Jesus. And we would think they're here to thank him for delivering these men and rendering safe an area that was previously unpassable, or honoring him as one who is Lord over all, but that's not what we see. The people don't really seem interested in who Jesus is or how he's performed this miracle. Rather, they seem mildly inconvenienced. They would have taken the crazy men if their bacon economy had stayed in place. Rather than worshiping the living God in their midst, they ask him to leave immediately. Go before you do any more damage to our economy. Matthew has shown us that Jesus has command authority over diseases, over people, over the spiritual world, over demons, over all of nature. So Jesus has the authority over these demons. Will you worship him for it? Or will you, like these people, turn away from Jesus so long as you can have your creature comforts, your economic prosperity? Will we follow Jesus in this life, knowing that there'll be suffering and hardship, but knowing because Jesus is the God-man, it's all totally worth it? Will we, like the demons, correctly identify that Jesus is the Son of God, but unlike the demons, will we love and worship him for it? Will we submit to King Jesus' absolute authority over every aspect of creation, even over how we're to live our lives? Will you love Jesus today, receiving from him the forgiveness of sins, rejoicing in his good gifts? And so with that, rejoice in Christ, meditate on his word, and I hope you'll join me next time. Hello, Mr. Hawk. Did you kill the squirrel recently? Oh, you do have a friend. All right, I'll leave you to your breakfast.